give it a few seconds to come in. If you're watching on the recap, it's quite funny. I, you know, once in a blue moon, I like to go live at the crack of whatever time it is in your territory. For me, it's like 2 in the morning. But for some of you, it may be 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and for some of you, it may be 11 p.m. It's a bad time. Oh, Dan Erickson is here. Hey, Dan Erickson. I don't expect many people to be on this late. Camera's right there. Ikaram is here. Hello, Ikaram. Wow. I don't expect. Yes, Killjoy is here. Now I know I've made it. Um, as I was saying, I don't expect many people to be on late because, hey, Maikaru ASMR is here. Hello, ASMR. When I, excuse me, Slate, Casey 9099, and Awesome Productions is here. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up for whatever that means at this hour. Thank you, Dan Erickson. Dan Erickson is here. He super chatted. When I usually go on late, it's usually about midnight my time. However, it is 2 a.m. my time, and you know, I haven't actually streamed or made a video in about a month, which is quite depressing for me because usually I like to stream at least once a week. There was a while there, especially in July, where I was streaming like 5 times a week or something crazy. And then it got to August, and I started to not have as much fun or something with streaming. For whatever reason, I slowed down a little bit, and I don't want to bore you guys with the details, but the last stream I did was like about a month ago, and it was my tier list for the Final Fantasy games. And I was kind of a mess. I recently shaved my head, as I do, and trimmed down my beard because I was looking really wily all over the place, and was feeling quite a mess. But we're in September now. A lot of you guys will remember our recent Poor Life or Rich videos. We live in a house with, there are 6 of us here total, 6 roommates, where we moved in last year in September with 6 of us, in the middle of COVID, and, we just had each other. And, we're at the end of our lease now. And, I won't say who, but there are 2 of us that are moving out of this house. Jackie and I are not those 2. We are staying in this house, but 2 of us are moving out of this house, and so it'll just be 4 of us. And so there will just be 4 of us trying to split the rent here, and it will be difficult. I have tried to make it work with whatever I have available to me. In the past, I have tried, Uber driving. I have tried, Lyft. Most recently, I've tried door dashing. I had a very good full-time job before COVID as a property management agent. But when COVID hit, they sold the property I was working at, and I got laid off. And so I haven't been able to get another full-time job since then, and it's been difficult. And I'm sorry that I haven't streamed at all in the last several weeks. I like to be as honest with you guys as possible. I've been depressed as I get. I'm a very, thank you so much, Ikaram. You're the best. I like to be as honest with you guys as possible. I've had my lows, and I just didn't feel like, I didn't feel the joy that I once felt streaming. But for whatever reason tonight, with on the eve of a couple of roommates moving out, I just felt like I needed to do something, and I can't sleep, so I am streaming now. And just wanted to talk to you guys, Killjoy, Ikaram, AK, all you guys. Just felt like I needed to talk to someone. You guys are like almost, I like to live stream. It's almost therapy for me. I am trying to get another job. It's been difficult. I have talked to Dan Erickson. Awesome. Thank you for being here. I've tried to get another job working as a PR or a social media manager for a couple of different companies, and we'll see what happens there, and I'll keep you guys updated. Anyways, I don't want to bring down the party, as it were. It tells me that 14 of you guys are watching live, which is awesome. I'm always surprised when I see so many of you guys up late. Late my time. And it really warms my heart that so many of you guys care, seemingly personally, for my well-being, because I really care about you guys too. Yes, Darkness the actor. I will always try my best to be as honest with you guys as possible. And yes, Dan, I will be okay, I believe. But I didn't come on here to be depresso, I promise. I just wanted to be frank with you all since... Oh, thank you, Killjoy. Killjoy says, props on being honest and vulnerable with us. We appreciate you, dude. And I appreciate you, Killjoy. You're literally the best. Let's see. And then Ikaram says, I've never felt this serious on a stream here. Thank you for sharing. I just am trying to hold myself together. But like I said, I didn't come here to be super serious, man. I wanted to talk to you guys, and I did want to be honest with you guys, but also once I got past the depresso stuff, I wanted to have some fun with you guys in the only way that I know how. And we've tried a lot of Final Fantasy, and I love Final Fantasy. We've tried some Fall Guys, and that's kind of Chris's thing, and I do like Fall Guys when I'm playing with him, but I just wanted to talk, so kind of feel free to do a ask me anything. Just treat this as an ask me anything. And while you guys are asking me anything, just keep in mind that there is one thing a year that I look forward to. Mikaru ASMR says, hey Rich, I hope things get better for you. Thank you for being honest with us. You deserve better. Have you ever tried Fiverr? You could be a voice actor. Fun fact, I am on Fiverr. And I'm on Fiverr as a video editor and as a writer for games and movies. And I haven't really gotten it. I've been on there for months and I haven't gotten any gigs with that. And yes, Darkness, I have been keeping up with What If. I just finished the zombie episodes. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Dan. I care about you guys so much. I'm not going to be playing any video games tonight, but I do have, and as I was getting to, there's one event every year that I really look forward to, and some of you guys know this. It is Wasteland weekend. Skull902 says, hope your pursuits work out for you. This kind of stuff is thoughts about by a lot of people. It's only natural to worry. Thank you so much. Turin Flank says 73. And Killjoy says Wasteland. Yeah, Wasteland Weekend is an event in the desert in the Mojave every year that we go to, where we kind of role play living in the post-apocalypse. They didn't do it last year because of the pandemic. Awesome Production says, do you have a favorite memory of filming Super Mario Brothers? Probably episode, whatever the first episode of season 4 was. I loved making that episode. Last year, Wasteland Weekend didn't happen. And we were quite depressed, especially me. Yes, thank you, Killjoy. It was episode 46. It just, like, we got real drunk. We tried to party, but I got real depressed. This year, Wasteland Weekend is happening, although it is smaller. A lot of the tribes aren't going due to the new, outbreak of the variant pandemic. But Wasteland Weekend is happening, or at least it's happening as of now. There's a chance they could cancel the last second, but it's most likely happening, and I am really excited to go. It's the one time I get to kind of act out as my Wastelander. And by the way, if you were a fan of Fallout Elwood, I've been writing short stories based on the character of Elwood. The first short story got accepted by Amazon, and you can buy it right now as a digital book. It's only 10 pages. It's a short story, but you can buy it right now, and I should have had that link in the description, and I realized I didn't. But I will try my best to link it in the comments before the end of this video. It's called Elwood, Ranger of the Wasteland, and it is basically based on the first episode, but there are some differences because of copyright. I have, of course, had to disconnect it from the Fallout universe, so now Fallout Elwood kind of exists as its own thing, but it's loosely based on the first episode of Fallout Elwood. So that means, of course, by the time I get around to the third book of Elwood, you'll see completely new stuff because we never got around to the third episode of the show. So you can buy the first short story of Fallout Elwood right now, and within the week you're going to be able to pre-order, because this is something that Amazon has allowed me to do. Amazon really loves me right now for some reason. Within this next week you're going to be able to pre-order Elwood, the second book. So I'll let you guys know that. Anyways, what I'm getting to is we made this excellent, if you can see it, roulette table. We rusted up the edge here. It's real rough. And we dusted up the inside there. This is a roulette table that we made for Wasteland. We're going to try to run a roulette game at Wasteland. So, as you guys know, roulette is you get red or black. Sometimes you get green, which is 0 or double zeros. It's a lot of fun. And I thought it would be fun if we tried to play right now. So everybody call out a number, and we'll see who wins. The winner gets my thumbs up because I can't actually give you anything over the internet. So we'll just do space bucks. Let's see. Darkness says 23. Runefirst says 27, and Killjoy says 10. Dan Erickson says 21 or 18. Let's see what it lands on. Ikram says 34. It's one, by the way, it's 1 to 36 and then 0 and double zero. 27 Black says Skull 902. Turn says 20. Awesome Production says 32. Ooh. And it has landed, I don't know if you can see that. It has landed, you can't see it. It has landed on 35 Black. So I don't think any of you guys got it. Yeah, Killjoy says troglodollars are on the line here, our made-up currency. Okay, so let's do it again. Everybody shout out their numbers. Let's go. What are the next numbers? This is the only thing I can do right now. Yeah, Ikarum got close. All right, we're going to do this one more time. Killjoy says 14. Angelina, thank you so much. I've been right here on my couch. And what's it going to land on? It has landed on 22 Black. Did anyone call out 22 in that? uh, oh, Killjoy says Darkness. Darkness got it. Congratulations, Darkness. You called out 22, and you win. You win a big old thumbs up from me because I can't physically give you anything right now. Okay, well that was fun. So let's go back to just an AMA. So what are your guys' burning questions for me right now? Let's see. What do you guys want to know? Skull says the space bucks are for Darkness. He can pay off Pizza the Hut. Pizza the Hut. looking for burning questions. What have you guys wanted to know? And once again, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Super important because YouTube sucks. It is so important, apparently, to give a thumbs up. ASMR says, do you have any fond memories of filming Lord of the Rings? That's some pre-Stupid Mario Brothers stuff. I mean, I just have some very early memories of filming with, Chris, Duck, and Matt. And, we were messing around in high school. Monkey Mephisto says, do you think King's Blade will get picked up by a network? It might, but, that's Matt's project, so I haven't been involved in King's Blade since the beginning of that. I think at the very least I'm getting a story by credit, but I'm not really involved in King's Blade, so that's all of Matt's success. And, bravo to him for all of his success with King's Blade, but that's all him. Let's see, Darkness says, if you could reboot any movie franchise, which one would you choose? Actually, the fun fact is, one of my favorite movies of all time is Jurassic Park. And I do enjoy the Jurassic World movies that have come out the last couple of years, but they're good, but they're not like super great. If I had the opportunity to remake Jurassic Park from the beginning, I was a huge fan of Michael Crichton's work. Like, I loved the book of Jurassic Park. And as much as Jurassic Park is probably my favorite movie of all time, if I had the opportunity to remake Jurassic Park, I would make it like just like the book, because the book is very different from Jurassic Park the movie. And if any of you have the opportunity to read Jurassic Park the book, I suggest you do so. It's been a huge inspiration to me. Got some more comments here. Angelina says, Richie, instead of saying hello, Darkness, when I saw your live stream, I said hello, Richie. Hello, Richie, my old friend. Very good, very good. Truan says, how long did it take to evolve SMB story after starting? I mean, that's an easy answer. I mean, I guess it just evolved as we filmed it. Because back then, especially when we committed to a season of Stupid Mario, I had to finish writing it and filming it by a deadline, right? So I just had to kind of go balls to the wall with that and finish it on a deadline. I will say that I have been, especially since I haven't been, filming or even live streaming lately, I've been mostly focused on being depressed. But other than that, I've also been doing a lot of writing. I am writing 2 novels at the same time. One is a sci-fi alternate universe kind of tale, and the other one is a big post-apocalyptic fantasy with like magic and stuff. And then while I'm doing both of those books, I'm also writing these Elwood short stories to kind of get just some content onto Amazon while I'm writing the 2 novels. And again, I'll have a link to that first short story for you before the end of this. Killjoy says, what are some non-spoiling trivia you can give us for Elwood? I would say that in book 3, you're finally going to learn about Elwood's PTSD that was hinted at in the first episode of Elwood. He obviously has some demons that he's been working through as far as abandoning his troop when he left the California Rangers. And it is the California Rangers. He, of course, in the webisodes, he was a NCR Ranger. but because I can't use NCR because that's Bethesda, in the novel version, he is an ex-California Ranger. So in my version of the post-apocalypse that has nothing to do with the Fallout universe, after the bombs fell, California just became its own republic, and I'm calling it just the California Republic. So the California Republic rises again, similar to how it does in Fallout, but we're just calling it the California Republic, since by law I can't call it the New California Republic, you know. So, but we're gonna learn about what Elwood's deal was when he abandoned his friends, and that's gonna be really exciting when we get to book number 3. And I'm trying to release one short story every couple of weeks. So we just released book 1 yesterday, and so in a couple of weeks I will finish book number 2, and then a couple of weeks after that we'll release book number 3. And what's exciting is book number 1 is basically loosely adapted from my script from Elwood episode 1. Of course, I had to change the factions and separate it from the Fallout universe, so it's a little different, but it's basically the same story of Elwood trying to get to Camp Zachariah and save everybody there. I mean, I could still use Camp Zachariah, and I can still use the Hannibals because those are my creations. So the basic story of Elwood is still there. It's just not set in the Fallout universe anymore. And then, of course, book 2. Book 2 will be also loosely based on episode 2, although you will see in kind of a, for better or worse, a Neon Genesis, 1.1, 2.1, you know what I mean? When they did the reboot Evangelion movies, you'll see in book 2 it'll start to diverge a little bit from the second episode of Elwood, because I have some new ideas about where I want that to go that I didn't have when I did the series a couple of years ago. And then, of course, we'll eventually get book 3, which will be completely new material for you guys. And that's really exciting for me because you now get to see the continuing story of Elwood in book form, even though we won't see it as a web series. Skull902 says, I've always enjoyed doing the video editing portion of things, learning new VFX tricks. What have you and seeing it come together, do you also enjoy it, or do you find it tedious? Actually, editing is like my second favorite part of videos. Writing videos has always been my favorite part of making videos, because I can just write whatever I want, and then it's always when we're filming that I find that we have the limitations on what I can do. It's kind of why I have been slowly transitioning to just writing, because when I can write, I can do whatever I want. So that's kind of what inspired me to write novels and stuff, is that in book form, I can just write whatever, and then you can see it in your head, and we don't have to spend money I don't have on making it a movie. So I'm really excited to bring you guys books, and we're going to release the entire soundtrack that Penrose wrote for the Elwood episodes. We're going to release that entire soundtrack as a YouTube video here within the next couple of days, and that's really exciting. And of course, we'll come with a little ad at the end for the Elwood books, and you'll see that at the end of that video, and of course there'll be a link, and I'll bring you guys a link. I'm really excited about my writing, guys. That's the one thing I'm excited about these days. Darkness, the actor says, much more gory. Did you read the books, Darkness, or the one book that's out? But yeah, so the Elwood books are going to be a little bit more visceral and gory than the episodes were. For everybody that's read the first book of Elwood, you'll notice that the Hannibals, and what they do to poor old Petey, their mate there, is a little bit more violent and visceral than it was in the episode. When we filmed the episode, we chose not to show him die. You'd see the spiky balls and they were bloody, but you wouldn't actually see him be pummelled to death. But in my original script for Elwood, it was much more descriptive, and then it was just kind of decided later on when we were filming to kind of not show him, because, one, we were like, it's going to be too violent, we're going to get kicked off of YouTube. And then 2, we were like, well, how are we actually supposed to show him getting hurt without actually hurting the guy? We don't have an awesome, Stan Winston studio makeup team to make a dummy Petey to beat up. You'll also notice when you read the book that in the book, and in my original script, it wasn't spiky balls. It was a spike. It was a spear, basically, that Petey is impaled with. And then, of course, the descriptions of his guts coming up and everything. And that's why later Tar says he had a lot of guts. Um, which, of course, we could not do in the video. So, uh, yeah, you'll find there's a lot more detail in the books. I mean, as is the case. Same thing with Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was a PG-13 movie, but if you read Michael Crichton's original book, it is very much a mature, violent book. Um, Killjoy says, "What's your favorite book of all time?" Probably Jurassic Park. You got to read that original Michael Crichton. Star Butterfly says, "Do you love spaghetti like me and my good friend Mario?" Oh, I do love spaghetti. You'll find that the funny thing is that me and Chris and Matt, who played Wario, and Doug, who played Waluigi, we are all at least half Italian. Especially me and Chris. We are both half Italian, so like a lot of our love for Mario and then our our love of all things Italian. Like if you ever watched our sketch, My Cousin Vinny. We love Italian things. We both grew up in very Italian households. And with that came a lot of pasta, and so yes, I do love my spaghetti, and I feel like there's a bigger story there, but I'll get into that another time, maybe when Chris is on stream with me. Matthew Marola says, "Rich, I'm gonna be real with you. Get out of California, move east, go someplace where living expenses aren't so high. Life is filling out in the country." Yeah, being honest, I have considered that many times. There was a time several years ago where I thought about like moving up to Idaho. But the problem is that my family and all of my friends are here, and I just feel like that would be very isolating for me. And as much as that might save me in strife and in expensive, I feel like I would suffer emotionally from being so detached from my family and friends. So right now, moving out of the state is not healthy for me. But thank you. Angelina says, "Richie, you have always remind me of one of my older brothers. I always think of him every time I see you." Well, awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that I could be an older brother for you. I hope that I have given you support and, you are awesome and encouragement. Runifer says, "Are you playing any games lately, or are you looking forward to any coming out soon? I'm much looking forward to Arcane Studios' Deathloop next week." I did recently play Cyberpunk 2077 now that patch 1.3 has come out and the game is basically finished now, 9 months after it originally came out. And I gotta say, now that the game has come out and there aren't any more bugs, it's actually a pretty decent game. I wish that it had come out that way. It's too bad that we had to wait 9 months for the game to be patched, but it's a pretty decent game. My favorite character in SMB was The Darkness, Awesome Productions. Let's see. Angelina says, "Richie, how's Chris? We haven't seen him in a while. We've been waiting for him to live stream again." Chris has kind of been in the same boat as me. He has not really felt like streaming lately. I think the last time I streamed might have been the last time he streamed, if he was streaming with me. And, it's just been tough. But he will stream again. Don't worry. Sterlita is here. Hello. Says, "Yo." Let's see. Trying to get through to questions. Runifer says, "I know you're playing it safe with copyright, but do you think it might be possible to use Fallout Stories or Mario Shorts as a Patreon reward or something?" I don't know. That might be tough. I'll figure that out. As far as writing goes, I don't know. I'm trying to keep it original. Like the 2 novels I'm writing, those are very original stories for me. And I really wanted to continue the Elwood story, and I'm okay writing the Elwood story not in the Fallout universe. I think that the post-apocalyptic universe that I'm kind of building within the Fallout story is kind of progressing into its own thing that I really like. And I'm able to build on top of it with my own ideas, and actually that makes me less restrictive to what, Bethesda has done. So I think it's pretty good. Skull902 says editing audio on its own is very boring to me, though. Video editing is the bomb. Well, depends. Angeline says from Mona. Darkness the actor has super chatted $10, and I realized that you super chatted a while ago. I'm just really behind on comments because you guys love to comment. And thank you so much. It says 20 of you guys are watching now. Darkness says I'm turning in for the night. Keep your head high and keep on smiling. I did read it and fell in love with the series all over again. Thank you so much, Darkness the actor. I'm so happy that you got a chance to read the Elwood short story. I'm sorry if you didn't hear me say this because you already left, though. So sorry about that. In fact, we're getting to the point where there are. I hate to do this, but I'm so behind on comments. I've got a ton of comments. I will try to get to as many as I can, but of course, if you do super chat, as always, that is highlighted, and I will get to every single super chat that I see, and I will try to get to as many comments as I can. Killjoy said, "Night Darkness." This is Night Killjoy. What If episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I'm guessing you're talking about the Marvel What Ifs. I mean, I've watched all 5 What Ifs. I think they're pretty good. But my favorite Marvel show so far has been Loki. Robot Account says, "You are the man, legend." Thank you so much, Robot Account. Oh, Angelina says, "Richie, I'm half Italian too. Congratulations." Ikram the Cyborg says, "Alvarez, Muller, Provençal, Orofino, Italian-sounding names." Well, actually, the funny thing is, out of all of those names, only Orofino is Italian. With myself, Alvarez is my dad's last name, of course. And that's why I'm Alvarez, and he is of Native American and Mexican descent. That's where I get Alvarez. But my mother's maiden name is Giannini, and that's where the Italian comes from for me, is the Giannini side on the maternal side. So my Italian name is Giannini. With Chris, his is, I believe, in fact, well, I don't know. He may not want me to say for whatever reason, so I'm not going to say it. But he's got an Italian name on his maternal side as well. With Matt, the Italian comes from his maternal side as well. And I don't know if he's comfortable with me saying, but the funny is, yeah, me, Chris, and Matt, we all have our Italian names on our maternal side. But with Doug, he's got the Italian on his paternal side, and so he gets to be Doug Orofino. So he gets to have the Italian name. We don't. The KH fan says, "I'm just a longtime fan who watched back when Super Mario Brothers was still going. Thank you for still being here." Dark CTK says, "What's up, guys?" Turnfly says, "Callie might improve one day. I hope so." Angeline says, "Richie, Richie, that's the cutest thing you ever said to me. Don't know what to say. I'm crying." Well, thank you, Angelina. I don't know what I said because it was a while ago, I guess, but I'm glad that I got to say something that impacted on you so much. 12 that count says, "Elect Kevin Pefferoff for governor." Meet Kevin on YouTube. I'm hiccuping now. Might be able to help. Sorry, 1 second. I haven't been able to look at... Wow. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm trying to stop hiccuping. Trying to hold in breath. I don't know a whole lot about who's running for governor in California right now, but they're trying to recall Gavin Newsom. I'm not really about politics, so I don't care. So I couldn't say who's best for this state right now. ASMR says, "Every time I say UPS van now, I always hear, 'I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign.'" Why did the UPS man sing that song? I think the funny thing is I grew up with a lot of obviously in my time, I grew up with a lot of 90s song, and I Saw the Sign is just one of those songs that stuck in my head, and I would often just sing it on my own all the time. And when I dressed up as the UPS man for the first time in, I think, episode 10, I want to say, of Stupid Mario, I was just like, there was a shot of me walking down the hill delivering the letter to Donkey Kong, right? And I rolled action, and I saw the sign just kind of came out of my mouth, because otherwise it would have been a very boring clip of me just walking down the hill and giving the letter to Donkey Kong. Of course, I would have probably, if I hadn't sung anything, I probably just would have cut right to me handing the letter to Donkey Kong. But then that wouldn't have been very organic, because all of a sudden the UPS guy is there. Of course, that does seem like something I would just do these days. Just like, oh, jump cut to a person there that we didn't see before. But back then, we had to have like, oh, somebody's entering. We have to have a long shot of them entering the field. And so I just did, I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign, do. And because I did that the first time as the UPS man, it just kind of stuck. And I just started doing it every time I dressed up as the character. So, there you go. Makes sense. I'm just asking because I know that fan stuff tends to be eaten up quick, and it might help financially. Gotcha. Mecha Money is here. Says wee. Ikram says $20, as in $20. Loki, or Dan Erickson says Loki is good. Yes, Loki is my favorite Marvel show so far. Skull says, planning on watching one of the movies here soon to help me along staying up since I've got streaming plans of my own in the afternoon. Fan of Godzilla at all, Richie? Oh, I am a big fan of Godzilla, especially the original Showa period of Godzilla. And, Showa is everything from, like, the original Godzilla up to, like, the mid-70s Godzilla. I love the original Godzilla movies. They are my favorite. And I actually have been a pretty big fan of, like, Godzilla and Godzilla King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla vs. Kong. So all the legendary Monsterverse that's been happening now, I've been pretty much enjoying. Angelina says, me and my friend always thought Loki is hot. Kilcher says, you got a strong Latino last name, bro. Don't hate on it. Yeah, thank you. Mecha Bunny says, it's chilly here this morning. I love OT. Celia says, haha, hate when that happens. I sometimes hiccup if I'm laughing. Oh, back to hiccups, so where I'm 5 minutes behind now. Angeli says, Richie, it was the part when I told you you look like my brother and you said to me, I will be like a brother to you, which that really warmed my heart because I always saw you like a brother to me. Ah, thank you, Angelina. Awesome. Mecca says, Rich, you are great always. Thank you. Keeping up with you guys is hard because ADHD. Keeping up with you guys is hard. I haven't streamed in a month. Matthew Kuroshia, I hope I'm saying that right, says it's 5:35 here. What time is it over there? Right now it is, I know it's like past 2 in the morning over here. It's probably 2:35 here. Sterlita says Loki is great. I might be live streaming today. Robot Account says, you guys really were kind of pioneers for Mario on YouTube. Honestly, Nintendo spent all that money on the horrible 93 live action movie, and your show was 100 times better. You guys are Mario YouTube geniuses. Thank you. I was just trying to do something fun. Skull92 says, hell yeah, dude. Godzilla hype. Star Butterfly says, me and my brother at age 8 and 5 binged Stupid Mario Brothers and then waited and watched every episode together when they came out. You changed my life. I love you. Thanks. Still rewatch it. And thank you so much for being a fan. It really means a lot. You can always rewatch Stupid Mario, but don't forget to rewatch Super Mario World and Plumber Knight Returns and then Super Mario Legacy, because that's how the series ends. I always like to remind people of that, just in case you didn't know. Runifer says, which Godzilla design is your favorite? Honestly, I'm really digging the legendary design. I think it's the most realistic. Sterlita says, I love Loki so much with his sense of humor. Yeah. Okay, everybody's giving times here. Becca says, how's the poor life of Rich going? I mean, we finished season one. I know that I didn't really declare at the time that that was the end of season one, but that was the end of season one. We did 5 episodes. I thought we did really well on those 5 episodes, and maybe someday we'll get to a season two. I don't know. We kind of ran out of steam with that because just like every show I do, we got really ambitious, and because I didn't want to harbor you guys, or what's the right word? I didn't want to labor you guys with like a fundraiser or anything. We didn't fundraise, and so, we didn't fundraise, and therefore, just like everything else I tried to do on a shoestring budget, we ran out of money, and we couldn't really get past episode 5. So, maybe sometime in the future, I don't know, we'll get to the rest of it. Well, we'll see. I enjoyed making those first 5 episodes, though. Robot Account says, do you take any film or commercial jobs, editing or otherwise? Well, like I'm on Fiverr, but nobody's hiring me. We have in the past done commercials. And in fact, several years ago, we basically ran a side business of just doing local commercials and things. And I am still open to doing commercials and editing for other people. In fact, I have contacted like Mr. Beast and Mr. Sunday Movies and a lot of my favorite YouTubers, asking for editing jobs. Like I specifically Mr. Sunday Movies, who's my favorite YouTuber. He's an Australian dude. I've asked him if I could be a full-time editor for his channel, but I haven't really heard anything back from any of that. But I would love to have a full-time job just editing other people's YouTube videos, like more successful YouTubers than me that could afford to pay me a full-time salary to edit their videos. That would be awesome. I would love to do that. I am super open to that. If I could get a full-time job doing that, that would be great. Sterlita says, did you watch the PlayStation Showcase? I wanted to, but I forgot that it was happening today. But we did several hours after it ended. We did catch up on all the trailers, and it was awesome seeing the God of War trailer, and oh God, what else was there? There's a little tease for like the Wolverine game, and tons of stuff that I'm forgetting now. Oh, the new Spider-Man 2 video game, that was awesome. But what kind of took the cake for me was not even a game trailer. The Matrix 4 trailer came out today, and that blew my mind. I cannot wait for the new Matrix movie. That's going to be rad as hell. Runefir says, I personally like the OG design. His ears make me so happy. For Godzilla. Matthew Marola is here and says, ever consider doing another costume giveaway auction like you did at the end of the movie years ago? I feel like we've given away all of the costumes that we're willing to give away. I mean, I do have my original season 1 and 2 Mario costume, which is very, if you notice throughout the series, that's very different from the costume that I wear in later seasons, which is like the turtleneck thing with the darker overalls. I have that costume as well. I also have my lighter overalls with the red long sleeve shirt that I used in the first couple seasons. I have both my Mario costumes. Of course, the one consistent thing throughout both of them is that I have the same Mario hat throughout all those costumes, and that's why that Mario hat looks so beat up. I've got that Mario hat upstairs, and I've had that Mario hat since Halloween of 2006, before Stupid Mario even started. So I've got all those costumes. I don't know if I would ever do another auction though, because I always feel bad afterwards. Some of those auctions really helped me in crunch times where I needed money, but then I'm always like, I really should have held on to whatever costume, But yeah, I don't know. I won't say never, but right now I think I'd like to hold on to the costume materials I still have. ASMR says, if you were asked to audition to be Mario in a live-action Mario movie, would you take it? Especially if Chris, Matt, and Doug were asked to be their characters as well. I mean, I can't speak for them, but I would definitely take it. I would love to do a job in actual production. But the rest of them all aren't really actors. They all have full-time jobs doing other stuff. I mean, I don't know. If Chris was asked to be Luigi, he might take it, but especially if I was going to be Mario, but I don't really see us being actors in a live action movie. I would love to do it, but I'd rather write and direct a Mario movie than star in one, to be honest with you. I loved being Mario in Super Mario Brothers in the day, but I feel like I'm a little too old now to be like a fresh Mario and a new Mario. Like I know that DreamWorks or not DreamWorks, Illumination is doing their Mario movie and it's going to be all CG. And I think that's good because then they'll be able to keep it pretty close to the animations of the video games, but I've always had a dream of doing a live action Mario origin story that kind of set Mario up as kind of a superhero. Um, and like Mario, it would start with Mario kind of being a young adult, like 18 to 22. And he realizes that he has these powers that he got when he was a kid because he was saved from Yoshi Island and then was adopted by a Italian family in New York. I've got my own ideas about that. And so I would kind of set it up as a superhero origin story for him. And I realize I'll probably never be able to make that movie, but I'm too old to play the character now. But I would hire an actor to play it, and I would write and direct it in this fictional universe where I'm a Hollywood director. You know. School 902 said, "Oh, he was talking to somebody else." Um, Robot Account says, "That's crazy. You aren't getting work regularly." Yeah, I think so too. Runifer says, "Have you heard of Upwork, Richie? It's a website like Fiverr where you can offer your services talents as a freelancing position." Well, I mean, I have heard of that, but Fiverr is more well known, but I haven't really been getting any jobs on Fiverr, so I can't imagine another website working better. Nobody wants to hire me, so, that's fine. I'll just starve to death. Anyways, Robot Account says, "I might need editing help as well, color correction and simple effects, overlays and such." Well, if you can afford to hire me, I would love to do editing, but, I do also, as a person, need money. So it would have to be a job, then we'd have to agree on a price, and, that's never fun. Angelina says, "The name, give me the wretched name. It was Carl's Jr." Yeah. Great quote. Dan Erickson gives a lot of hearts. Mike Money says it's not a baseball cap, it's a newsboy hat. Great call. Coco Cook 1ES says, "Hey Richie, how you doing, buddy? Hello." I think I finally caught up with the chat. Angelina says, "In SMB, UPS and FedEx fighting each other look like a low-budget Matrix movie." Yeah, kind of, I just thought it would be really funny if the parcel services were fighting each other, because, why not? Robot Account says, "What are your rates?" That's a good question. I haven't done a commercial work in a long time, but I don't know. You'll have to catch me when I'm willing to. I don't really want to talk about that over the stream right now. I'll, if you can always go to our Discord, and Killjoy if you're here, or AK if you're here. Somebody who has a link to the Discord, please give a link to the Discord, because I don't have that in the description. Somebody give a link to this Discord. You can ask me on Discord about my rates, but it's not an appropriate time right now. ASMR says, "I've always envisioned the origin story of Mario and Luigi as a spin on Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz. Instead of a young girl, you have grown adults in a fantasy world. Does this work?" Yeah, that's kind of like where my head was at. He's kind of thrown into this Mushroom Kingdom, but it's kind of like, in my version, it's like Mario, because if you remember Yoshi's Island, Mario and Luigi are kind of born in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then they land on Yoshi's Island. They're saved by Yoshi. And, in my vision, after Yoshi's Island, then they come back to the real world, and they're adopted. And then they live their young adult lives on Earth before they then go back to the Mushroom Kingdom. I could write that story for Amazon, except I can't write a Mario story because copyright. I mean, I could maybe try to write it without mentioning Mario or Nintendo, but, it'd be hard. And people wouldn't get it. They're like, is this supposed to be a Mario story? I don't know. Maybe that would be a good Patreon thing, as somebody said earlier. Mecca Money says, I didn't know DHL existed until you pointed it out. Afterwards, I've seen them and I'm like, gasp. Yeah, they're a real thing. They've been around for a while. Thank you, Killjoy. Killjoy posted a link to the Discord. So if you guys click on Killjoy's link to the Discord, get on that Rich Alvarez Discord and then PM me and we'll talk. Runifer says, what's your favorite fall game? Easy, Fallout New Vegas. Angela says, musical theater. Star Butterfly says, do you watch anime? I do watch a lot of anime, especially 90s anime, because that's what I grew up with. Neon Genesis Evangelion, still my favorite, the original show. Rockin' Robin says, what if Mario had children? We'll never get there. He might in the future. But of course, did you ever watch Stupid Mario Legacy? My movie that ended all things Stupid Mario Brothers? Because if you did, you wouldn't need to ask that question. Spoiler alert. Watch Stupid Mario Legacy. It ties up all loose ends for Stupid Mario Brothers. Mega Men says, hey, Rich can't sleep either. Yeah. Oh, Mega Money says, I'm headed to bed. I gotta go to work soon. Runifer says, I have New Vegas, but I haven't started yet. I am a disappointment. Sterling says, I had a dream that Mario was in a Ruby universe and had no idea how he got here and got attacked by monsters. Then Ruby shows up along with her team like Weiss, Fang, and Blake. Gotcha. I've never seen Ruby, so I don't know any of those characters. Killjoy says, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to spoil the movie. Yeah. Angeli says, they made a theory that Rosalina is Peach and Mario's daughter from the future. Yeah, that's a thing. ASMR says, or JoJo's ASMR says, hello, Richie. Hello, JoJo's ASMR. Rockin' Robin says, I may have to watch Legacy again. Yes, watch Legacy. All your answers are actually there. I'll be super right back. Alright, just wanted to grab this body armor, not sponsored. Just needed to get my vitamins and minerals in since I'm staying up late. Alright. Damn, I missed a lot of comments, but let's see how's shit going at this time. Angeli says Richie, but they also think that Rosalina is Luigi's daughter with Peach. Luigi has some explaining to do. That was Matt Pat's theory on the Game Theory channel, but I don't think he was correct about that. Like, Miyamoto actually said that in the original script for Galaxy, Rosalina was Mario's daughter. And then they cut it out because they didn't want to, like, complicate, like, paternal things in a Mario game, which I get, you know. So, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed that she was supposed to be Mario's daughter. And then Matt Pat's theory about it being Luigi's daughter, I mean, it's just false. And let's be honest, Matt Pat, he used to have a great track record for being right on his theories, but lately, in the last couple years, not so much. I love the guy. He makes some of the best videos on YouTube, but he is not correct. Rosalina is, in my opinion at least, 100% Mario's daughter. And that's the way that it was. Oh, well, I don't want to spoil anything. Let's see here. Yeah, Angela says, it's a theory. A game theory. Whew, and I'm at the end of comments again. So... anyways, if you would like to see me because I have to come up with something fun, because this is YouTube. If you'd like to see me finish this body armor, which I'm gonna do anyway, so it doesn't matter, super chat me $2. Gotta come up with a number. If you would like to see me continue to play the roulette wheel with you guys, super chat me $5. And that's all I'm gonna do with super chat, because I don't know what else to ask for super chat. You know, some YouTube channels are like really sly with their super chats. They're like, oh, super chat and I'll answer this and this, or super chat and as a group we'll play this game, or we'll answer this. And it's like, I don't know, that's always been really difficult for me, because like, what am I going to do? It's like, I'm going to, as I'm doing right now, I'm going to answer as many questions as I can regardless of the super chat. Sometimes super chat does help though, because like if I'm getting a lot of comments like now, it helps because of course super chats are highlighted and it makes it easy for me to see in the web of comments, which is also like really helpful when like Chris and I are playing a video game and I can't really look at all the comments. But like, I don't know, I try not to be gimmicky about the super chats as much as I can, but like, you know, as a struggling person who has not had a job in 9 months, it's hard to not also remind you guys about the super chat, because I still need to eat. So anyways, wow. Turin says, where do you think the Godzilla 1985 suit ended up? Probably somewhere in Toho Studios, I would assume. Sterlita says, fun time party. Dan Erickson gave some roulette numbers, I assume. And her Momomo2 says, I wish you luck. Angelina says, who remembers in SMB the cardboard box that said Pat sucks? That's actually a fun inside joke, because we had a friend Pat at the time and we used to say Pat sucks. And of course we are good friends with a man named Zach, who you guys might remember in our Animal Crossing music video parody from years ago. He was the owl, and he's also been in some other streams and everything. It's an ongoing joke that we say Zach sucks now for whatever reason. Yay! Makeru ASMR super chatted $2 and says, which other countries did you visit? So because you super chatted $2, I will drink some more body armor. That'll keep me alive a little bit longer. And I have actually never visited another country. It's quite sad. In my life, so I live in California, which if you don't know, it's on the west side of the United States. And, you know, I would say once every other month I'm pretty close to Nevada, the next state. So once every other month I go to Nevada. Actually, I mean, when I say I go every other month, I really mean I used to go every other month, because for the last year and a half, because of the pandemic we're living in, I have basically just stayed in California. But I used to visit Nevada all the time because I love the nature over there. Right now it's kind of on fire, so, you know, that's really sad. But I used to love going over there all the time. Once a long time ago, we went to New York. So I've been to the East Coast of the United States a little bit, but you know, I've never been to Mexico, which is where a lot of my family lives, and I've never been to Canada, and I've never been outside of the United States. And only one time have I really been to the East Coast of the United States. Other than that, my whole life, it's just been in California, with a handful of times going to Nevada. So I barely leave California, unfortunately. So I don't have a history of visiting other countries. Robot Account says, you are a super cool guy, man. I watched Super Mario Brothers when you were like on episode 11 at the time. Nashville is awesome, man. You should live down south. There's a lot of Californians moving out here. Well, I mean, I've considered it. Sterling says, are you still playing Final Fantasy 14? Just wondering. I know how you feel. I'm still looking for a job, which is also hard. You know, again, not really. I mean, when Final Fantasy 14 first came out, I was playing it a lot, and I tried to get back into it to stream so you guys could watch, but the streams didn't really catch on, obviously, as a lot of my stuff doesn't. And no, I've been writing a lot and doing other things, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time to play games other than, as I said earlier, I played Cyberpunk recently. Um, wow. Hey, my sister's here. Winry Part says, I can't believe you are streaming right now. Lol. Depression and not being able to sleep. Killjoy says, Christine. She says hello. Angelina says, stealing, an old Matt quote. Sterlita says, oh, Cyberpunk is good. I thought it was good too. I mean, again, all the bugs are fixed now. It's actually a pretty solid game. Robot Account says, we have server jobs in restaurants. Yes, server jobs where servers make like 300 to 500 in like 6 or 7 hours. Real talk with flexible schedules. Okay, all right, well. I mean, there are good jobs here too. Just it's hard to get them, especially restaurants because I have no restaurant experience. But I feel like my services would be unwanted there. Like I've been trying to get jobs in like marketing and PR, social media, like the jobs that I really know how to do well. But that's been difficult. But like I said, I've had a really fun time writing my 2 novels that I'm writing, and as I've said, I gave you guys a Elwood short story that you can get on Amazon Kindle. Link coming soon. In fact, Killjoy, if you're still there, you seem to be able to give links, probably because you're a mod on here. If you could give the link to the Elwood book 1 on Amazon, that would be great, because I don't know if I could even do it on my phone. But if you could give the link, that would be stellar. So that way I actually have a link to point to when I say, get my book on Amazon. I have a book on Amazon that I wrote, and I would like you to read it. Everyone. Jagdeep Dylan, or Dehillen says, SMB was my childhood, just came across it again recently. Glad you're doing well. Thank you. I'm doing as best as I can. Jojo says, were you and Chris still working on Kingsblade these days? No, that's been Matt. Chris and I were working on Kingsblade with him, like, it's been like a year and a half since we were involved at all. I'm still getting story credit. But really, it's Matt's project now, and he's the one. I've not been involved at all in over a year. Oh, Christine says, I'm actually going to start a live streaming show. My husband is setting it up for me. Lol. Awesome. And there it is. Killjoy gave the link, Killjoy's link. So, hey, it's Killjoy, by the way, if you're looking at chat, gave a link to Amazon.com. That link that she posted right there is to Elwood Book 1, my first of many Elwood books. That just released on Amazon yesterday. That is the first book of my new Elwood series. If you guys remember, a couple years ago, I made Fallout Elwood, a web series. I only did a couple episodes. That story is going to continue in book form on Amazon. The catch is, and then you'll notice when you read the book, it no longer has any ties to the Fallout video game universe. It is now part of my own original Wasteland universe. Because 1, I can't use the Fallout stuff, and then 2, it doesn't limit me. I can do whatever I want now. But you'll see the continuation of the Elwood universe there. So thank you, Killjoy, for giving us that link. Everybody, click on that Amazon link and get that book. Runefir says, honestly, I have Cyberpunk, and I've tried twice to get into the game now. I was struggling because I felt like I had to fight the game. The UI is a little weird to adjust for me. Yeah, it's not intuitive as much as I'd like it to be. ASMR says, I've asked Matt this question too, but how does it feel knowing that you wrote Wario better than the SNL writers that wrote the awful Elon Musk Wario sketch? I mean, I saw that sketch. It wasn't good. I think I just know the character of Wario better than they do. Robot Account says, I just bought your book on Amazon. I'll read it. That's awesome. Thank you so much for buying my book on Amazon. That is really kind of what I'm trying to transition to. My favorite part of making videos has always been the writing. And so I thought I would try to get into writing. It's part of the reason why you haven't seen me streaming in the last month is I've been busy writing. As I said, I'm writing 2 different novels at the same time. Super ambitious and probably stupid, but I had 2 very different ideas and I decided to go with both of them. And then on top of those, I'm also writing these Elwood short stories because I figured if I'm writing these novels are going to take me like a year to finish or whatever, but I wanted to start putting stuff on Amazon, and so I'm writing these Elwood short stories. So that way I can finish them quickly and give you guys some content that you're kind of familiar with since you already knew the story of Elwood from the webisodes. Sean says, "Hey, what's up, man? I was just watching your drive-through videos. I first saw them at 11 to 12. I'm now 21. Then I saw you were live streaming. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for showing up. Those drive-through videos were something else. In fact, my sister, who's here in the chat, was the girl at the Taco Bell window. All of the drive-through videos were real drive-through videos, except for the Taco Bell one. We kind of set that up. I don't remember, but I don't think my sister expected I was going to be there. But as soon as she heard my Mario voice, she knew that it was me. And of course, I knew she worked at that Taco Bell. So we kind of we improv'd it, of course. We made it up, but we were kind of bullshitting each other on the spot. So she was like, "Here's your burrito, asshole." It's like she did that because she knew who I was. I'm her brother. So that was a lot of fun. Um, Sean says, "Are you going to make any new drive-through pranks?" Probably not. That was at a time when we were working with Machinima, which no longer exists. But yeah, we made all those drive-through videos. Drive-through and prank videos aren't really a popular thing anymore, but I don't know. I'll never say never, but I'm not going to make any right now. I'm just scrolling through chat right now. Sterlita says, "Any idea what happened to Machinima?" I mean, kind of. I know that like the parent company that bought them years ago went out of business and they liquidated. It's kind of the sad story that happens to a lot of YouTube enterprises. In fact, my management company, which is Fullscreen, and it's been Fullscreen since like 2012 or something, they just went out of business. And so my YouTube channel is going to become independent here really soon, which is both good and bad. But like the management, like there was these big management empires. Like we used to be part of oh god, what was it called? You can see this in some of my older videos. Revision 3, yeah, was who we were with for a while, and then we then switched to Fullscreen. And then there was, Machinima kind of had its own thing for a while, and there was other companies, but the days of like giant management companies are kind of ending, I think. So this will become an independent channel again, and I no longer have to give Fullscreen 10% for doing literally nothing. Fullscreen hasn't helped me out in years, so that's kind of a relief, to be honest. Dark Zero says, "I happen to be trying to get a story of my own into novel form. Do you have any approaches to writing that you'd like to share?" I mean, just really when I'm writing, it just literally what's in my head goes to paper, especially when I'm writing my novels. It's just like it just, if it's in my head, I start to write it down. If I'm not feeling it and I have the writer's block, I leave it alone. I actually started writing my sci-fi novel over a year ago, and I'm only into like chapter 3 now. That's why I know that it's going to take me a while, because I like to take my time and do it when I want. With Elwood, it's a little bit easier because I had scripts for an entire season ready, and I'm just kind of converting those into short story form now. So that's why it's easy for me to put out Fallout Elwood short stories while I'm also working on these other novels I'm working on. Angela says, "Richie, oh, so that was what that was? I thought it was some idiot woman who is a hater of Nintendo and treating you badly. Sorry, Christine, I didn't notice." Sorry, Dan Erickson. I haven't actually watched any of season 5 in Rick and Morty. I don't have regular TV. I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for years. I only have a few streaming services. So eventually, Rick and Morty will come to Hulu, and that's when I will watch season 5. But I have no other way of watching it other than when it finally comes to Hulu. Kildra says, I did not know full screen was still a thing. Well, it's not anymore, as of like a couple weeks ago. Um, no, you guys are just quoting Rick and Morty in the chat. Okay, well, nobody super chatted for it, but I'm going to spin the roulette wheel anyway. So everybody shout out your favorite number, 1 to 36, or 0 or 00, and we'll see who wins. Shout out now. I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, time's up. Spinning the wheel. Dan, you can only do one number, buddy. Ooh, and it looks like it's 13. Did anybody say 13? Because if you did, you win a virtual high five. I don't think anybody did. Oh, well, that's okay. So I thought about, as I said, I'm going to release the entire soundtrack to Fall at Elwood, the webisodes, as its own video, and then do a little kind of promo for the book at the end of that. And then I was thinking I would also read the first chapter and kind of show the video of the first scene from Fall at Elwood as kind of like a book on tape for just the first chapter, because I don't want to give away everything, otherwise you won't buy the book. But I was going to do the kind of read the first book or the first chapter as a promo video, again, to try to make people more aware that I'm actually writing now, and want everybody to give notice to my Amazon page so you can start buying my books. So if that sounds like something you'd want me to do, let me know. But if you don't want me to read my book at all and you think that sounds terrible, also let me know, because then I won't do it. But I thought it sounded like a good idea to me. So, just let me know. I'm reading comments slowly now because they're coming slower. Reading comments. Ooh, $20. There are no new comments. Wow, I caught up on comments. By the way, if you're here watching this video now and you did not give this video a thumbs up, now's your time to do so, because YouTube. Killjoy says it's a good idea, and therefore I think it's a good idea, so I'm going to do it. Oh, you like to listen to me reading? Did you guys see my, I did, last Christmas, I did an ASMR of, the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. And I was thinking about doing another ASMR this Christmas, although I don't know what I should read. Maybe I'll just read my own book. Robot Account says, look up my last comment. Do you have a PayPal or Venmo to accept donations? Well, I have this YouTube channel, which you can super chat to, and that's probably the easiest donation you could do, is doing a super chat. Because, I had a Patreon, but it hasn't really been touched in a long time. The best way to donate, if you're going to donate, is definitely super chatting here. Otherwise, you can buy my book on Amazon. Angelina says, Tim Burton movies are lovely. I agree. ASMR says, I've been trying to find the original advert that says $20, but I can't find it yet. What was it again? I don't know. You'd have to ask Matt. That's something I don't know. I think Chris might have said it on one of the streams, but I I think I only ever saw it maybe once, but that was definitely something that was Matt's thing. Sterling says, I am out of ideas of a Christmas story. um, maybe, um, maybe I will write my own short Mario poem and I will do a ASMR of that for Christmas this year. That would be fun. So like, and Mario and Luigi with their stockings up on the fire. Wait for Saint Nick before their minds expire. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Got to write it. But looking forward to the eventual Mario Christmas short story that I will ASMR here on YouTube. Yeah, dramatic reading of a Mario poem. Exactly, Killjoy. Killjoy, if you could link that Amazon link one more time, you are the best. Yeah, before the minds expire. I had to come up with a rhyme really quick. Otherwise, I was going to be a phony. There it is again. Killjoy just gave you that Amazon link. So if you want to read the first book of Elwood, now a short story series on Amazon by yours truly, you can get it on Amazon. $2.99. What a steal. It's cheap because it's only 10 pages. It's a short story. Where are you, brother? Where are you, main character? Thank you, Angelina. ASMR says, in that one blooper where Matt threw something at Mario and Yoshi, Chris said it was getting old. Was Chris serious? Yes, he was. I love Matt's bloopers in hindsight, or when I'm editing them and I can make a good blooper reel. But sometimes when we're filming, it can get a little old sometimes, and that's kind of why we made Matt's School of Bloopers, because we wanted to kind of showcase the whole process of bloopers, them being funny, but also us getting irritated by them. Sterling says you're going to see Matt's show eventually when it's available. I'll see it. We'll all see it eventually. Dark Series says Matt has a show. He doesn't really have a show yet. He's made a pilot for Kingsblade, his show he's working on, and he's trying to get that turned into a real thing. Rockin' Robin says, I went to the book link and there's no paperback, only Kindle. Yeah, I can't afford to actually make a physical paperback copy. You have to buy the Kindle, but don't worry, you don't have to have a Kindle to buy the digital book. You can buy the book, the Kindle digital version, and then you can just read it digitally on your computer. You don't have to actually have a Kindle these days. It's a digital version of the book that you can read on your computer. So don't worry about that. You get a Kindle app that you use. People haven't bought Kindles in years. You can get the Kindle app on your phone. You can get the Kindle app on your computer, and you can read the book anywhere. What are you writing there, Mario? The word ass. Killjoy says, are you going to consider making a cameo on Weekly Wario? Has he started that yet? Did Weekly Wario start and I had no idea? Let me know, because I had no idea. I was going to do Mario Mondays, but I didn't want to compete with Weekly Wario. Mario Mondays was an idea I had a long time ago, and then Matt said he was going to do Weekly Wario, and we got into a little bit, and I didn't want people to think like I was copying him or he was copying me, so I decided he could do his own thing, but that was months ago we talked about that, and I didn't know if he actually started Weekly Wario yet. So, I don't know. Has he actually started Weekly Wario yet? I hope he has, because it sounded like it was going to be fantastic. Phil just says it was delayed till January because Matt's Kinky Boots performance. Gotcha. So, yeah, because he's now on stage doing Kinky Boots. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see it eventually. Well, I can't wait to see it when it's a thing. Okay. I had some talks with my roommate Corey, who was an English major, and he suggested that I make some heavy edits to Elwood. And I did agree with him on most of what he said, but I already went through the publishing process on Amazon before he kind of gave me his feedback on it. So the book is already up. He suggested that I needed to use more like body language and like visceral emotion rather than just dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. In his opinion, it felt like it was basically still just the script of Elwood, but with just a little bit of flourish on top. And yeah, kind of, but um, he's not wrong. I just didn't have time to do that. But I will take his words to heart for the second book, and I will try to do more book than script, if that makes sense. So I think I will just improve as I go because the book is already on Amazon. What can I say? But a lot of you guys who reviewed the book didn't mind. You liked the book, but I don't know if that's because you actually liked the book or because you already knew the story from Elwood, the web episode, and so you kind of already knew what was going on. So it's hard for me to tell because, um, I don't know. Killjoy says books are like the only media where show don't tell doesn't rule doesn't apply. Tell me everything. Yeah, yeah. In a book, you have to give tons of exposition, and generally in books, it's like the opposite of what you want in a movie script. It's like a piece of dialogue and then like two paragraphs of exposition, another line of dialogue, and then another paragraph of exposition because you're always like, you have to define the character motivations on everything that they say and everything that's going through the character's head. And I tried to do that as much as I could with this, because in like the Elwood script, it was like Elwood says this, Rhonda says this, Steve says this. But in the book, when I was writing the book, I basically just took the script and I put it into book form, and I had to give a motivation for every, like I can help you. My name is James Elwood, said Elwood as he looked at his attire and thought strangely, whatever. It's like, I had to give motivations for every line of dialogue. And so that was a little tedious, but I had to put it in book form. But, that's a little bit harder than like when I write my sci fi novel or the other novel I'm working on. I'm just, that's just coming from my head to paper. And so there's very little dialogue in those books because I'm writing a book when I'm writing those books. That's very different from when I'm doing Elwood and I'm turning a script into a book. Because Elwood was very dialogue heavy. So that's going to change a little bit in the second book, and going forward, you'll start to see some differences from the second episode of Elwood. And it'll start to feel more like a book and less like a book version of Elwood. So I'm excited for that evolution. Darkzer says, do you feel like a book is the right medium for your story? I think in a lot of ways, yeah, because the reason why we couldn't go farther than Elwood episode 2 is because, of course, like a lot of things I tried to do, we got to a point where it was going to be way too expensive. I really wanted to have, the Brotherhood of Steel show up, and like we were going to go to Camp Zachariah, and there was going to be, big fend off from, the enemy, and like we didn't have a set for Camp Zachariah. We didn't have the money to do big budget suits for the Brotherhood, or even the threat of Kaisar's Legion that we hinted about in episode 1. So we just didn't have the money. And I find that a lot of times when I write, especially when I was writing Super Mario Brothers, I found myself writing to budget. I found myself writing with what I knew I could afford, and I don't think that that's very fun. I like to just write with my imagination. And so, yeah, I do think, at least right now, that the Elwood books are the perfect place for me to continue the story, because then I can just write down whatever I feel like, and I don't have to worry about what I can afford to put on screen. I'm literally just writing what comes out of my head. And so I do think you'll get a more satisfying Elwood story with these Elwood short stories. I do think that that's important. Killjoy says, I knew what the character looked like, so I didn't need descriptions, but it would help with new readers, yeah. Thank you, Matthew. Marola says, I'm praying for you, I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much. Sterling says, do you ever think about doing a live stream for D&D? I mean, that's something we've talked about for a long time because we play D&D a lot. But I've always just felt like it would be really boring. I know that there's a lot of successful D&D live streamers, but we go really slow with our D&D, and I'd hate to, like, it would be hard for me to have fun playing D&D while I'm also trying to entertain you guys, if that makes sense. I just don't think streaming D&D is for me. Highborn Coyote says, hey, how are things going? They're going okay. If you want to know how things are really going, watch the beginning of the stream. That's all I can say. Well, I've been streaming for about an hour and a half, and I think that's gonna pretty much do it for me. Killjoy, if I could bother you, so sorry if I could bother you to put that link to the Amazon one last time. Just this last time. So that way I can just end on a note of the Elwood story. So that way I can end this stream and have a call to action as I end my stream. Because that's what's going on in my life right now is writing books. And trying to make a name for myself on the Amazon Marketplace. There it is. Killjoy just put the link. Thank you so much, Killjoy. So if you guys are interested, click that link and get Elwood. It is now a book. If you enjoyed Fallout Elwood, my web show, you're going to want to read these books. And then the second book will be available for pre-order starting next week. And that will be out in about a couple weeks or so. And we're going to see the end of this Elwood story eventually on books, but I feel like I'm going to write a lot of Elwood books, and you guys are going to really dig it. Yes, Killjoy, I do feel a little bit better now. Thank you guys for being here for me. I hope that I've been there for you, and, we'll all get through this together. But this has been good. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Check out Elwood on Amazon. I'm on Amazon now as a writer. Yay. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. How do I end this stream? Where's the end stream button? Oh, there it is. Woo.